Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in to The Medium by Design. So I'm wearing this bright shirt that I wore on my birthday, and I also wore it to visit that living angel. If you've seen the video of my living angel, who did pass since that video, I was very guided to go and see her. It was a very, very strong impression that I got that I had to go and see her. And I had a miraculous visit with her, of course, like I've always had. I have 6 recordings of sessions and conversations that I had with that woman, and it was a miraculous connection in my life. And I was sorry to see that people that knew and loved her also never took the time to go and see her. I was quite surprised. And now she's gone. And so that video went up to show that there are living angels, there are people who are receiving information from other realms that are not seen and easily accessed by everyone, and that they share their lives on a very deep level, and that's why that video is out there. It may be difficult for you to watch, and I can understand that, but if everyone is out here on the internet and out in the world expressing and exposing everything that they want to express, and I'm talking about the negative garbage that's being thrown all over the world and on the internet, then why is it not okay to show a very intimate moment of someone before they pass? And even though you may not understand the message that she shared with me, there were a lot of pertinent parts in that message, both about her passing and things she was starting to see and some things she was giving to me. So that message is beautiful in my eyes, and that's why it's up here. So today, in honor of her, I wrote from her after she passed, which is what I do, right? So we are going to really see the amazement. And this is my personal life, folks. This is not just, computer-generated voice and computer-generated message or wherever, other people are getting things from. This is me. This is my life out in the open, which I don't know. I think it's pretty amazing. I hope other people do too, but it's just funny, some of the responses that I get. So I'm not saying her name just to protect her privacy, but here's what this beautiful living angel, and please go back to the video where she's wearing the same color, which by the way was not planned. Her caretakers dressed her in that shirt, and then I showed up in this shirt. So tell me that wasn't a divine, special day that I had with this beautiful person before she passed. Okay, so here's what she had to say to all of us. Of course, it is time to share once again. I was wondering when you would take a moment so I could give you the scoop. And she was laughing. Yes, I can understand why you wanted to make a video, knowing that that would be our last visit together in this world. However, I can also understand some of the reactions that will come from that video. It is easy to see how some people want to keep life events private. But even I know that the world needs to know these things are happening more than ever. After all, what could I possibly have left to hide? By the time we are at the near end of this life, there should be no stones unturned. We should have looked at, analyzed, and experienced everything our soul and God had outlined for us to experience. Anything we did not get to becomes almost irrelevant, because if needed, we will get the opportunity to have any of those experiences we may have missed. So, I can understand your need to share as much as possible during the rest of your life, as you know full well that the world absolutely needs to see as many divine, spirit-fed moments as possible. It is hard for our minds to comprehend the boundless nature of our spiritual lives. Just look at all the visions, messages, and visitations we have each had. Look at the twists and turns our lives took that we seemingly had nothing to do with. It just never ends. I was so happy to have had all the amazing new connections that were made the last few years. Now, she was in her 90s, by the way. Analia, I hope you see this, brought so many of us together that would not have ever met. I can also share with you that yours and Analia's medicine wheels were some of the most powerful, most intense visions and messages I have ever received. That's what she called the sessions that she did, medicine wheels. There was a true deep knowing that what was going on was orchestrated by God, and that each of us was in that divine light or bubble, as you might say, and that it was all meant to be. So now that I am free from that body, I have even more opportunities to speak with Jesus, Mother Mary, and all those that reached out to help us while I was alive. The most uncanny experience for me was how truly bonded I feel now with all of these souls. When I was doing the medicine wheels, I still felt that we were all separated, experiencing our own lives in the dimensions we were in. Now I feel that I actually was living and carrying the energy of the Holy Family my entire life. It is a completely different understanding of our connection to Spirit. I know, Salvatore, that you too contemplate the depth and the ins and outs of your connection, how it works, where it came from, why even that your soul chose to be this way. I can share now that it truly is the divine light that is necessarily coming through the many alive today that continue to share messages and truths that are not available to the public at large. This is why there is a new wave of spiritual revolution happening now. Look at all these messages on YouTube and other areas on the internet. Oh yes, now I see everything that others have been watching as I continue to lose my physical eyesight. I guess you could say I can see clearly now. And she was laughing. Don't ever feel that you are on the wrong path or doing something wrong. Remember all those conversations of the guilt we carried. That is the core of why many people today cannot be what their soul was meant to be. Of course, grief is also a key ingredient to holding one back. The third and most powerful emotion that has so many still sitting on the sidelines is fear. Fear has been the most detrimental emotion holding humanity at large back from the many of God's gifts that are still not being experienced around the world. I know you have written from others on these things, so I will endeavor to share some more pertinent information that may help others at this time. I'd like others to know that what they carry is so much more than what they know. By spending decades taking time to understand myself and my connection with Spirit deeper, I got to experience life in a very different way than most. I heard, saw, received visions, messages, insights, and understanding that most will never receive during their lives. However, this could all change if people directed their attention differently, moved away from all the busy tasks they find are so important. They just can't see what they are missing, and this is a shame. How can the kingdom of heaven be experienced here on earth if the people inhabiting earth don't know or understand anything about it? This is why meditation keeps coming up for people to try. Exploring the inner self through meditation and other practices and giving the mind a chance to relax, shut up, and receive in another way can change the entire course of one's life. This crazy ego that believes it is in charge can be the worst detrimental aspect of human life. It continually proves to hold every aspect of human evolution back. Now, if you go back to the, not the Arcturians, but those other two messages about the ego mind, of course, I can't remember the name of that race now, but it's a few videos back. It's not that old. There's two messages about the ego mind and where we are having to move out of that evolutionary stage. I guess if I was to give any advice, I would suggest that people spend more time in quiet and exploring spiritual pursuits. Much like you, Salvatore, there has been no other joy and even astonishing moments than any other endeavor my entire life. And I say this with complete clarity. Having these seemingly otherworldly experiences my entire life has been the greatest gift that I could allow and give to myself. It all could have gone another way if I refused to take the time and allow. And this is where we're like soul twins. I did the same thing. I was guided into meditation. I was guided into all these groups over the years and to explore this part of my human experience. And if it wasn't for that, there were many occasions that I would have died and I would not be here. But it was the spiritual path that kept me alive and kept me out of trouble, actually. My visions always had a way of calming me down, helping me release some emotions, and then making me feel all is going to be all right. Just that feeling alone, if experienced by more people to assist to release some of these deeply ingrained fears, would change the world overnight. Now let's talk about some specifics that might help you and others understand what is happening all over the world and how the human race can become more of an active player in all of this. First, you each must know that everyone is playing a role to show you another truth. It may be their truth or a group of people's truth, but, and I repeat, but, their truth is not to be taken as the truth for everyone. I cannot stress this enough. I still see too many of you taking in something you have seen or heard and believing it is important, and then joining into the group that also believes that information, and that much of it is keeping you away from your spiritual connection to God and your soul. This is causing you harm, and you are completely unaware of it. I would stress again that you need to be absolutely sure that there is a strong spiritual component to anything you attach your mind to. The most detrimental information I am sure of to you, your psyche, and the nervous system, it is what is being pumped. Yes, I said pumped out in the political arena. There are many other hot topics and emotionally triggering groups sharing what they wish to share, but the political arena appears to be the most detrimental to the human species. I don't know if I'm saying this because I can see the energy of all these areas so much more clearly, or because I can also feel the next area of human life that will be changed at its core. However, I can be definitive that this area of human life is doing the greatest harm. I might suggest that if you do not have a definite soul calling to help change that system, you might decide to just stay out of it. I can see the energy around the minds of many now. It is amazing how energy is directing, affecting, inspiring, and even causing havoc on the personal lives, but more importantly, your body itself. I guess this is the next area I could share more on. How your body is affected by all these different energies floating around and literally hitting you in the gut. I see the energy centers of the body and understand their function much more clearly now. The solar plexus, or the area of your gut, is such a powerful center, and yet many of you, I generalize many people, are suffering from a weakened solar plexus. It has become sluggish from lack of clarity and use of your personal power in your lives. By giving your power away to the many systems and even the foods you are attracted to, your body is starting to break down, and the energy centers are clearly showing that to me. I would take a look at and go deeper with your lack of understanding of energy and start to use it in a much more healthy way to recalibrate your system and get you back on a higher track of not only expression of life, but of receiving something so much more powerful. Taking your power back could be as simple as cutting anything you feel is no longer beneficial to you. People, food, a TV show, and yes, even a spiritual guru you believed was for your highest, and now you realize is not. These are the clarifications you can make now to help yourself to rise up, and in so doing, raising the human race and the planet herself. Yes, this is how powerful you are, and just don't know it yet. Well, that was from my living angel, and again, you can see me and her a couple of weeks before she passed. We're both wearing this color shirt. You'll see it in the video. I had an amazing experience with this woman, and Analia was our mutual friend that used to come here and visit for the winters, and she connected me to a plethora of wonderful spiritual people in the few years that I got to spend with her. So, if you like this video or anything on my channel, please like it, share it, subscribe. I have a PayPal button if you want to really bless me. If you'd like a private session, my email is below. If you're thinking of a group, feel free to email me. If you have an idea of something that I could be part of, and this is how my work, my whole life is, I get invited to be part of things. That's how I exist. I just get invited to be part of things, and some of them are very new to me, but Spirit always has a huge connection in mind for me to be part of. So again, if you have any ideas, you're inspired, just write me through email. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, there's much more to come on The Medium by Design.